order. Roll call, please.
Alderman Jacob. Alderman Messina.
Here.
Alderman Sorrentino.
Here.
Alderman Sismarski.
Here.
Alderman Woods.
Here.
Alderman Catalano.
Here.
Alderman Currielli.
Here.
Alderman Ames.
Here.
And Mayor, please.
Here. Declare a quorum. Please stand. Join us. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first off, I need a motion to approve the minutes of July 15th, 2021. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Who was this first?
I thought I heard somebody say.
No,
All right,
Mike did
Dana,
both.
So moved.
I'll be second.
Okay. Motion and second. Any comments, questions, corrections? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Do any citizens wish to be heard on matters not listed on the agenda? Nobody here. No written communiques this evening, so we'll go under mayor's report. Let me just go to the other podium real quick. And I'd like to have the girls up here, Caitlin and Daniela. Cynthia's not here tonight, right? Okay. Okay. Allstate, this is Allstate Recognition. First off, and by the way, this is a letter from the coach. He was not able to be here this evening, so send me a little letter for me to read. First off, thank you for taking the time to recognize the success of these three young ladies. Cynthia, Daniela, and Caitlin were all key components to our team's success. All three of them are excellent competitors and will take on any challenge. We played a lot of really good teams, and these girls never backed down. Their work ethic and their love of the game always had them prepared. Their level of play and enthusiasm raised the level of many of our other players. As coaches, we really appreciated what these girls brought each day. While Cynthia has graduated and will continue to play at Carthage, we are looking forward to having Daniela and Caitlin for 2 more seasons. Third team All-State is an unbelievable honor. All the girls and their families should be extremely proud. Congratulations, girls. And again, the coaches are sorry they could not be here this evening. But they did give me... We're going to put you on the spot in a minute. Don't worry. We're not going to let you off that easy.
There was that softball?
Softball, yes.
Congratulations.
So, from the state, Allstate, the Illinois Softball Coaches Association recognizes a member of the Class 3A, third team, Caitlin Hoffing, Allstate Softball. That's for you. Congratulations. Would you like to say a few words? Go ahead.
Okay, I'm Caitlin, as you know now. First off, I'd like to thank my coaches, Illich, Foz, and Mello, who aren't here today, but all three of them constantly challenged us and pushed us to be our best. And I'd also like to thank my parents. My dad came to every single one of my games, and my mom constantly took the time out of her day to drive me to and from school for practices and for the games. And lastly, I'd like to thank my teammates who made the season as fun as it could be and constantly supported each other whenever we needed it. So, thank you.
Next, Allstate, the Illinois Softball Coaches Association recognizes as a member of the Class 3A third team, Daniela Trentadue, Allstate Softball.
Hello, I'm Daniela, that you know now. Thank you for having Caitlin and I out here tonight. I've played softball for about 7 years and I've learned a lot. I'd like to thank my parents for always encouraging me to keep on going no matter how hard it got. Caitlin and I made varsity at Fenton our first year and weren't able to play any games because of COVID. I'd like to thank Mello for everything he's done for us and pushing us to our limits. He cares about all his players and treats us all like our own daughters. He believes in me, and I'm glad that he could count on me. Thank you.
We've got a little bag of Wooddale goodies for you girls.
Thank you.
And thank you to the parents for raising such wonderful daughters. And
And we'll see you at the Olympics in 4
Right.
years.
did the parents want to take any pictures? You guys want to take any pictures up here? Oh,
You want one with you in there also?
with the parents. I was more about the parents, not myself.
First, I'd like to go to girls, and then, if that's okay, with you.
Okay.
Hey, Thor, this has got your name all over it here. You didn't-
Oh.
Not too close, we're older. Yeah, we got
Nice
Here,
job.
so much.
Thank you.
Good job.
Yes, they graduated the same year, yeah.
So this is for the other young lady.
Come on down the road here.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Either one of what position?
I'm a pitcher and she's.
Oh, good job. Good for you.
Oh,
Nice. Man, I can't believe how they throw that ball so fast. And the arms still
The
connected.
second one, she plays, her sister plays with my daughter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very,
All right,
very,
congrats, parents
they're all good
and
athletes.
girls.
All very
All right, we can go
good
now.
athletes. Yeah, they're all very good athletes.
next, I'd like to thank the chief, deputy chiefs, all the staff, volunteers for a great national night out, and all the volunteers for a great job. It was very well attended, and I know everybody had a good time. Next, city manager's report.
Thank you. I have 2 items tonight. First item, I'd like to congratulate Finance Director Brad Wilson and his team on their continued hard work, making sure the city's finances are in the highest order. The Government Finance Officers Association has 3 award programs, and the City of Wooddale is one of only a handful in the state to receive all 3 of the awards, which they call the Triple Crown. The 3 categories are certificates. I'll keep going, you guys can. It gets better, it gets better. The 3 categories are certificates of achievements in excellence in financial reporting, popular annual financial reporting, and budget presentation. The city is now confirmed to having received all 3 of these now for its 8th year in a row, and our 9th year is pending final approval. Given how many taxing bodies there are in the state of Illinois, and some of the major entities not being on this winners list, this is a great accomplishment and achievement for the city. This is a testament not only to the finance department, but everyone at the city of Wooddale that has a part in this. For some perspective, there are actually 1,297 total municipalities in the state of Illinois, 19 of which received this Triple Crown Award. So it's very good work for the city of Wooddale. The second item I have is the latest Wooddale internal produced video from our community outreach team. So if Grant can cue that video up.
Kind of feeling a little secretariat with this Triple Crown.
Hi everyone, I'm Grant with the City of Wooddale, and on today's How Wooddale Works, we're going to talk about some of Wooddale's most important residents our seniors.
In Wooddale, approximately 17% of our residents are senior citizens, and the city takes great steps to build relationships, provide services, and plan for the needs of this important segment of the population. Wooddale works in many ways to give back through public events, cost savings programs, and services designed to enhance the quality of seniors' lives.
Hi, my name's Janice Crothers, and I am a resident of Wooddale, Illinois, and I just love this town. This is my 29th year of living here, and it's kind of that small town feel, like Mayberry when I first moved here. You get to know the people in the community, you get to know the police who support us, our city hall, especially during the pandemic, all the nice things that they had done for us with vouchers and just the concerts, everything's coming back, and it's a wonderful place. But if you want a place that has good schools, good people, good support, Wooddale is your place.
Many seniors live on fixed incomes, so the city provides discounts and cost-sharing programs to help ease financial stress. Some of these programs include reduced refuse collection rates, a discounted grass cutting program, and an allocation of provided water on their utility bills. To provide discounted transportation, the city arranges its dial-a-ride service with special senior pricing. Or seniors can take advantage of a free annual vehicle sticker. And the city clerk's office can process renewal, reduced fare, and free ride permits for seniors through the RTA.
I especially like the fact that the city honors its veterans. We have here a Veterans Park, we have the Veterans Parade, and in unique situation that we don't see in any other city is that they have posted banners throughout the city of all of their veterans.
I think it's very lovely to live in Wooddale. I lived in the city for 59 years, and then I lived in Bensonville for 20, and I've been here for 8. It's very peaceful. I feel very safe. They have social activities, and the communities of Bensonville and Wooddale are so close that we enjoy both of them.
Our police department provides well-being checks and protective service referrals as needed, and meets monthly with a group of concerned citizens known as the Seniors and Law Enforcement Together, or SALT group, which discusses issues affecting seniors, traffic concerns, neighborhood issues, and police response. In an effort to get to know our seniors even better, we sponsor dedicated senior and SALT luncheons through the city and work collaboratively with the Park District. This year's event was held as a socially distanced drive-through day. Wooddale's Park District also offers a host of opportunities for seniors through events, engagements, and trips that appeal to a wide variety of interests.
The Wooddale Park District has been planning programs and providing services since it started in 1967. And the Senior Club was established in 1972. And the trip program started in the 1990s with some of our favorite destinations, Biltmore, Holland, Michigan, and the best of the best is Shipshewana, which everyone just loves.
Wooddale values its seniors and makes their needs a priority within all of our planning and outreach efforts, which is why we will always consider seniors incredibly valuable members of the Wooddale community.
That concludes my report.
Very nice video. Excellent. Next, consent agenda, nothing on this evening. Committee chairman reports, planning and zoning, Alderman Woods.
No report, Mayor.
Thank you. Public health and safety, Alderman Sismarski.
No report, Mayor.
Thank you. Public works, Alderman Messina.
I have 3 reports, Mayor. The first is a resolution approving a temporary construction easement at 372 West Irving Park Road for the Ward 2 and 3 Stormwater Improvement Project. That is my motion.
Second.
Any questions on this? We don't need a roll call on this. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Next, a resolution approving a permanent easement at 372 West Irving Park Road for the Ward 2 and 3 Stormwater Improvement Project. That is my motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second Any questions on this one? This one I do need a roll call on.
Alderman Messina.
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino.
Yes.
Alderman Sismarski.
Yes.
Alderman Woods.
Yes.
Alderman Catalano.
Yes.
Alderman Currielli.
Yes.
Alderman Ames.
Yes.
And that passes.
And finally, a resolution approving an agreement between the City of Wooddale and Benchmark Construction for the Oak Meadows Drive Parking Improvement Project in an amount not to exceed $45,000, and that is my motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions on this?
One.
Alderman Woods, go ahead.
So are these parking spaces open to anybody to park there?
I believe so. Mr. Lane?
That was it.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, these would be treated just as on-street parking around the city. We have to work out with the police department regarding the signage, but that was the intention.
Alderman Messina, you have a follow-up?
And did we decide if it was, overnight parking was going to be allowed or not?
I don't believe we've
Mr. Lane?
discussed that. Thank you, Mayor. I don't believe we discussed that specifically yet, but as I said, we're going to communicate with the police department and figure out what the best approach would be for that.
Can I have a follow-up?
Go ahead, follow-up.
Not that it's needed, it's pretty simple, but those folks on Oak Meadows that have lived there have struggled quite a bit to find parking. It's constantly chasing these guys down because they're parking on grass because they have nowhere to park. There was parking there prior, and I guess they got it taken away years back. So I'm sure the residents are going to be thrilled that whether it's 3 or 4 spots, something is better than nothing for these folks. So thank you.
Alderman Sismarski, you had your hand up.
I believe Deputy Chief might know too, it should be considered just like any other street.
Go
The
ahead.
parking, overnight parking is only permitted only.
Yeah,
through-
it would fall
through
under
Addison.
overnight parking unless we do an ordinance change.
Public
That
parking
would
has
have
got
to-
to
Right.
be no overnight unless
That's what I-
permitted.
Correct.
That's what I
Treated like any other side street.
Correct. Any other questions, Alderman Woods?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Is there, was that the max number of spots? I think 3 is the number.
Mr. Lane?
Actually, it's enough room for 6 spots, 20 feet in length. It was originally intended to be 3, but for the given budget, we were able to fit in some more spots, so
Good.
6. Okay.
6, correct.
So it'll be 6?
Go ahead. Yes.
I didn't
Yes,
see
sir.
that. I'm sorry, Mayor. All right, I didn't see that on the graphic.
Can I have one more follow-up?
A follow-up?
Do we
Go
know,
ahead.
and I know it's probably part of the scope or not, lighting? Being that there's 6 and it's all along that retention pond, I mean, I don't recall there being much lighting there.
Lighting was not within the scope. We can take a look at that later on, see if there's, I believe there is one street light nearby, but I'm not sure if it illuminates these parking spaces. It's something we can explore after the fact.
Thanks.
I'm sure street lighting is going to be on the strategic planning
Absolutely.
coming up throughout the city, is what I mean. Mr. Murmas?
And not only that, but I think we have a street light item next, or in a month. Yeah.
Okay. All right, we do have a motion. We have a second. Roll call.
Alderman Messina.
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino.
Yes.
Alderman Sismarski.
Yes.
Alderman Woods.
Yes.
Alderman Catalano.
Yes.
Alderman Currielli.
Yes.
Alderman Ames.
Yes.
And that passes.
That concludes my report, Mayor.
Thank you. Finance and Administration, Alderman Catalano.
I have 2, Mayor.
Go ahead.
First is an ordinance authorizing the issuance of a general obligation bond, alternate revenue source series of 2021, in one or more series taxable or tax exempt of the City of Wooddale, DuPage County, Illinois, in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $16 million for the purpose of finance the cost of certain capital projects within the city and paying for the cost related thereto. That is my motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Questions on this one? Mr. Wilson, he seems anxious over there. Okay. Roll call.
Alderman Messina.
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino.
Yes.
Alderman Sismarski.
Yes.
Alderman Woods.
Yes.
Alderman Catalano.
Yes.
Alderman Currielli.
Yes.
Alderman Ames. Yes.
And that passes.
The next is a resolution seeking the approval of a 2-year agreement contract between the City of Wooddale and Windy City Amusements. That is my motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Questions on this? Alderman Sismarski, you had your hand up first?
You know, this is for Parent, obviously, for Prairie Fest.
Correct.
What happens if this 2-year agreement, if they decide to lock down? I mean, what's in the agreement saying that if they decide to lock down and everything again?
I hope not.
I
I know.
I don't
know
hope
you
so
can't
either.
leave
I
nothing to
wish we
chance
would have had
anymore.
ours, but.
Mr. Bond.
Where does the legality lie?
Yeah, the force majeure clause includes anything, including any health-related issues, pandemic or whatever we might experience in the future. Hopefully it's behind us.
Go ahead, Alderman Sismarski.
It
follow
relieves
up.
both parties, sorry.
That's what I was wondering. I mean, if it's a 2-year agreement, they say nothing, we can't do nothing this year or again coming up, we're still in contractual agreement to have it for the year after that too, right? So that if nothing changes, the contract will stay the same, we're not,
Right, this is for next year and the year after.
okay?
Alderman Woods, you had your hand up?
Yeah, mine was the split. There's 2 lines, 6 and 7. One references 25% of gross up to a certain amount of 25% of ride gross, and then the other one references $50 per game if gross is under 100,000. Are we working off the same ride gross, or is there two different grosses? Is there a game gross since they're
Who's going to handle it, Mr. Wilson or Mr. Popolowskis? All right, go ahead.
Can you clarify the question, Alderman Woods, please?
Go ahead, Alderman Woods.
Sure. Referencing the split in revenues.
Yes.
For us, number 6 says sponsor gets 25% of ride gross up to 100,000 and 30% over 100,000. And then line 7 says sponsor gets $50 per game if the gross is under 100,000 or 75 if it's over 100,000. My question is the gross the same gross? Is it off the ride gross, or are there 2 gross numbers, one for rides and one for games? Because in 2 places they're referenced differently.
If I'm not correct,
Go ahead.
Mistaken, Mr. Wilson, perhaps you can clarify this. You're more familiar with it than I am.
I think Mr. Bond.
But there are 2 separate ones, one for rides and one for games. And that's traditionally the way it's done with these carnival agreements, and that's how it was with our last carnival provider as well.
Okay.
Anything to add, Mr. Bond? Okay, good. Alderman Woods, go ahead, follow up.
Yeah. Typically, do you have a number where those carnivals were coming in? Are they coming in over 100, or is it right around that number?
I believe not, under.
I believe the last one was around 75, correct, Mr. Wilson?
Okay. And
Go ahead, follow up.
Sure, thank you. And then how do we determine that number, that gross? How do we come up with that? Is it the honor system that they tell us that that's what it is?
Go ahead, Mr.
Mr. Wilson actually works directly with the carnival treasurer, and they work together the evening of the carnival, and they kind of balance the books together and divide it up. And am I correct in that?
Go ahead, Mr. Wilson. See, you get a chance after all.
I knew if I asked enough, we'd get the star up here.
Yeah, I think they start with so many tickets and, yeah.
So not to be overly brief, but specifically to your question, is it on the honor system that they're reporting to us all of their sales, et cetera, et cetera? Yes.
Okay, just
Go ahead,
and
Mr.
then one
Woods.
quick follow-up with that, because it's on the same line. So this one states that we'll square up at the end. Does that mean that we're not? I think in the past, we would get funds from them every evening?
No.
And then?
No, that's not
No?
true. It's always on the last day. Go ahead, Mr. Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, they'll give us reports every day on what the ride gross is for that particular day, and what the games, what do they call it?
All right, that's good. Thank you.
Yeah, the games, yeah, and then we'll square up at the end. I don't know, haven't talked to Mr. Pavlovskis, it's a year away, so, but pre-sales, they would net the pre-sales out, online sales, things of that nature. So we would have a pretty good idea going into the final day what we should be kind of walking away with. But yeah, it's worked really well. And we've used this carnival company in the past, so we kind of know how each other operates, so should be pretty good.
Oh, I do.
Follow up? Go ahead, before I go to
remember-
Mrs. Smarsky.
yeah, I almost thought it was done. My markups didn't follow through from my computer at home. So on the wristbands, for the weekly pass or whatever we call the mega pass.
Mega Pass.
I think the language used was, the bottom line in the remarks section, WCA, that's that group, current wristband rates. Is that current wristband rates as in today, or is that current wristband rates then?
Mr. Bond?
It would be the current wristband rates as of the date of the contract, so for the 2022 and then the 2023, if they change, it would be that rate.
All right, and when
Go
do
ahead.
how do we find that out, or when do we know that? They just tell us at the start of the year, or when?
Who wants to answer that? Ms. Palauskas, go ahead.
Generally, I get an email from the company in late fall when we start talking about the upcoming events, and they usually tell the rates at that point, what they're currently charged for tickets and mega passes and things like that.
Okay, and they've been pretty
Go ahead.
consistent over the years, haven't they? If I remember correctly, they've been pretty
Yes.
fair. All right, they're a good company. Thank you.
Alderman Sismarski.
Yeah, same line as Alderman Woods. Where does the mega pass fall in line with the, obviously not games? Is it added to the ride
To the
sales
rides, yes.
at the end of the day, every day, or is it at the end of the,
Well,
end of the?
We have those numbers, they're pre-sales, mega passes are mostly pre-sales, they
But
might
this-
sell some that first night, but we have because we sell them, right?
I'm just curious if it sits over here while these other two are, you know, the games and the rides are done, and these passes are done separately.
Well, we collect that money, if I'm correct,
Okay.
and then we square up at the end, right? So we have some of the money already up front, correct, Mr. Wilson?
Yes, that is correct. Yeah, we collect the money for the mega passes up front, but it is added to the ride gross bucket.
Right.
So it's not a third bucket, it is added to that bucket. But since we do have that money, you know, that is netted out to what they pay us the final night. But it's not, just on an island by itself. It does get included.
Any other questions? Alderman Sorrentino?
How are those wristbands monitored? You print so many, and then that's how you know what's been sold, what should be in the bucket, so to speak? Or is that the honor system as well?
Go ahead, Mr. Wilson.
Sure. So in the past, we would, depending on the carnival company, we would either have like a coupon or a full sheet that we would hand
Pre-sale,
the resident for the pre-sale.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah, and then and also at the park district, when they would sell them, we would all have a log, and so we would log them. Like, so we would say we have, voucher 1 through 100. They would have 101 through 200, and so we would log the name of everybody that purchased one. And then before the event, we would go through and collect the money from the park district, and then here in finance, we would tie out all of those so that we knew how much in pre-sales we had from the mega passes. So we would tie out the number of vouchers to the cash or checks that each entity had, and then present that back to the carnival company.
Is that your checks and balance?
Yes.
Perfect.
Correct.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Right. As Mr. Bond just said, that's why we get the awards, because staff does their job. Triple crowner. Any other questions? Roll call.
Alderman Messina.
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino.
Yes.
Alderman Sismarski.
Yes.
Alderman Woods.
Yes.
Alderman Catalano.
Yes.
Alderman Currielli.
Yes.
Alderman Ames. Yes.
And that passes. That concludes your report?
Yes, it does, Mayor.
Thank you. Under other business, airport noise, just to let everybody know, it's still ongoing with the fly quiet meetings and basically the runway headings in the evenings, so it's still ongoing. Stormwater Commission, the pipes are pretty much done over there at Westview. Now they're gonna start in the parking lot, and I'll turn over to Mr. Lang. He can give us a quick update on that Ward 2 and 3 project.
Thank you, Mayor. You're absolutely right. They finished laying the last of the concrete box culvert sections yesterday. The next 2 weeks, they'll shift focus to cleaning up the site and restoring the field and the parking lot area by the time children return on the 23rd. And then they'll move on to the final portion of this project, which is the conveyance sewer between Lincoln Court and Robin Lane, and the completion of Squaw Creek to Irving Park Road, which is what the two easements on tonight's agenda were for.
Excellent.
They're doing
Okay.
an amazing job.
Yes, very, good. And they're on time. Perfect for the kids. Approval, and again, thank you to the school district for allowing us to do the project there again. Approval of list of bills, Alderman Catalano.
Yes, I would like to entertain a motion of the list of bills of August the 5th, 2021, in an amount of $841,796.16. That is my motion.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions on the bills? Okay, roll call.
Alderman Messina.
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino.
Yes.
Alderman Sismarski.
Yes.
Alderman Woods.
Yes.
Alderman Catalano.
Yes.
Alderman Currielli.
Yes.
And Alderman Ames.
Yes.
And that passes. We have no executive session this evening. I know everybody's bummed about that. No items to be referred. We do need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Have a good evening, everyone.